Hello, and welcome to Lesson 1.4. With the knowledge that you have just gained in the last two lessons, we're on the verge of something great. This is a very exciting lesson. Already, we've just begun. Now, why is it so exciting? You've learned so far the personal pronouns I, you, he, and she. And of course, you, formal as well, but doesn't exist. And the verbs, live, make or do, wash, say, and listen. I got them in the wrong order, but those are the verbs you've learned so far. If you can put these two together, why is that so exciting? It's because these two elements, the subject and the verb, the personal pronouns, I, you, he, she, and the verbs, live, make, do, listen, wash, and say, they form the nucleus of a complete sentence. That means that you're on the verge of having the door open for you, really, to the English-speaking world. Because once you can put a subject and a verb together, the heart, the nucleus of any sentence, you can begin to express your own ideas. So let's see. It's a very exciting concept. Let's see now if in practice it's as easy as it sounds. Some of you who come from other language groups like French or Spanish or Italian, for example, you may know that the task isn't as easy as what I've just expressed. You have to make some modifications to the verb. Let's see if I have to do that in English as well. For example, can I simply say, I live in the United States. I live in Michigan. Or let's change the subject. You live in a house. Or he live in an apartment. It's an apartment. He live in an apartment. She live in France, we'll say. She live in France. Okay, that sounds very easy. Is it correct? Well, that's what Lesson 1.4 is all about. We're going to confirm whether the structure I just used in those sentences is correct or not. So let's go take a look at the second section of Lesson 1.4. Well, here we are inside Lesson 1.4 in the first section where you have the video. And in the second section, we're going to start to put sentences together. We're going to start to combine I, you, he, and she, with live, make, do, listen, wash, and say. And you'll be very pleased to hear that it's very, very simple in English. Only one thing to remember. So here we go. This, of course, is, what is it? What does it say? Say it. Right, it's he. And here we have, what's this verb right there? Right, live. And this is the city of Detroit, the city of my origin. So he, live, Detroit. It seems that we should be able to say this complete sentence right now without any problem. He, live, Detroit. Let's listen and see if we're correct.
He lives in Detroit.
Oh. I thought this was live. I heard lives. Lives. And then, of course, in. I understand that. In Detroit. Okay, in Detroit, but lives? Why? Well, he lives in Detroit.
He lives in Detroit.
Apparently not a mistake. He lives in Detroit. Let's try another sentence. Maybe this will make more sense. Here is, of course, what is it? Say it. Right, it's he. What's this right here? Yeah, it's either make or do. In this sentence, when we're talking about the bed, that's going to be make. So this is make, and here we have the bed. So he make the bed. Okay, he make the bed. Let's see if that's accurate. He make the bed. Let's see if that's correct.
He makes the bed.
Makes. Makes. He makes the bed.
He makes the bed.
He makes the bed. Well, why? Here we have, again, he. What's this? What's this sentence? What's this verb right here? Right, it's listen. Good. And this is music. Music. So he listen music. All right, let's take a look at this sentence now. How would you say this? How do you think you say this? Okay, it should be he listen music. He listen music.
He listens to music.
All right. I'm starting to get. There's a pattern here. I've got this idea that maybe I have to put on the s sound or z or s at the end of my verb, my action each time. He listens, and then I heard to. Listens to. I don't know what that is. Then music. He listens to music.
He listens to music. He listens
to music. Okay. All right. This time I'm not going to be fooled. What is this? What's this? Right. What's this? Wash. And this? You don't know. It's the dishes. There we go. The dishes. After you eat, then you wash the dishes. So here we have he wash. I'm going to add on this little sound each time. He washes the dishes. He washes the dishes.
He washes
the dishes. All right, I've got it. He washes the dishes.
He
washes the dishes. Okay, number 5. I think I'm on a roll now. What's this? Right, he and this. Say and this. Hello. Okay, he say hello. He say hello. He says hello. Let's see if that's correct.
He says hello.
Says, pretty close. He says hello.
He says
okay. So every time I put a subject, a subject, I, you, he, she, you, the other kind of you, which is the same thing, together with a verb, like live, I'm going to add zzz. At least that's what I think so far. Okay, here we have live, make or do, listen, wash, and say. So let's see here. Let's take live. I'm going to guess it's I lives. I lives.
I live.
No. It's I live. Where's the zzz? I live. Well, here's you. Is it you live or is it you lives? Which is it going to be? I'm going to go with you live. You live. Yes.
You live.
It's you live. So I live. You live. He lives. Right? Yeah, we already said that. She. I'm going to guess she is the same as he. So she lives. Yes.
She lives.
And then you, it's the same as you. You and you are the same, so you live.
You live.
Okay. So with I, you, or of course you, we don't put z at the end of the verb, but with he or she, we put z at the end of the verb, or something like that. Let's try the next series of verbs here. Let's take make. It could be make or do. Make. Okay. So, I make or I do.
I do.
I do or I make. Okay, put do first. All right, here's you. You do or you make.
You do.
All right, good. Now, he. We're talking about somebody. He does or he makes. I think it's he does or he makes. Let's listen.
He does.
He does. Well, that's close. He does or he makes. But I'm on the right track. He or she, I put z after the action, the verb. Let's see. She It's not do's. Does. She does. She makes.
She does.
Yes.
She makes.
And then, of course, you is the same as this you. It's you, do, you make.
You do.
Okay, let's
you
do
make.
one more together. Let's make sure I understand this. This is, what is this? Yeah, it's listen. So, listen. I listen.
I
Man,
listen.
English is pretty easy. You listen.
You
Right.
listen.
He listens.
He
Yeah.
listens.
She listens. Yes.
She listens.
She listens. And then, of course, you listen is the same as you listen and you listen. There's no difference. Okay. So in this section, you're supposed to listen. You're supposed to just listen to the different forms of each of these verbs. So let's just listen to the last two right here. Just listen to the series of these last two verbs. Here we have wash, and below we have say. So we'll start with wash.
I wash. You wash. He washes.
Huh.
She washes. You wash.
Okay, so he and she, it did say z at the end, but it was washes. He washes. He washes. Washes. It's true. It would be hard to say washes. He washes. It's easier to say he washes. Okay, I can buy that. So he washes. She washes. He's. She's. But I or you, no. Okay, let's try the next one. Listen to say.
Say.
I
I
say.
say. You say. He says.
Says.
She says. You say.
Okay, says, it's got the zzz at the end again. So he and she, always the same. He says, she says. All right. Well, the next section, you're the one who's supposed to say the sentence first, or say put the subject and the verb together first. Let's see if you can do it with live. So here's the verb live, okay? What's this going to be? Go ahead, say it. Say it. You say it. You say it. Okay, good. Let's see if you're right.
I live.
I live. Good. Okay, next. How about this one? What's that? Right. You live. Good. Okay, now be careful. You're going to say he this time. He lives. Good. How about she this time? She. Right. She lives. And then you, it's the same. You live. All right, let's do one more together. Let's take listen. We'll take the verb listen. All right, here's listen. Say this one. Go ahead. Say this first one. How do you say that? Let's see if you're right. I listen. How about the next one? You listen, right. This is going to be you listen also. There's no difference. So what's this? Talking about the boy. Good. He listens. Let's see if we're right. He listens. And then she. How about she? Right. She listens as well. Okay, good. So I think you've got the idea, hopefully. Let's go down and try and form some complete sentences now. Here we have, how would you say this sentence? Normally, you're just supposed to listen to this, but I think you guys are advancing so quickly, you can actually take a chance here and to form it yourself without my help. This is hello. So how would you say this sentence? Go ahead, say it. Say this sentence right here. Okay. He say hello. Now, was that correct? He say hello? No, it's he says hello, right? He says hello.
He says
right.
hello.
And here's a picture of that idea. He says hello to this girl right there. Okay, next one. Say this sentence here. Go ahead, all by yourself. Say the sentence. Go ahead. Good. He listens, right? Music. I should have reminded you of the word music. He listens music.
He listens to music.
I forgot. He listens to. Listen to. I listen to music. You listen to music. He listens to music. So he listens to music.
He listens to
Okay,
music.
I got that. Now, this one right here. Say this sentence. Yeah, remember this word? That was in. Okay, so he lives in Detroit. Detroit. I live in Detroit. You live in Detroit, maybe. Who knows? If you're learning English, you probably don't. He lives in Detroit. Okay? She lives in Detroit. Try the next one here. This is the word bed. The bed. The bed. Okay, say the sentence. Say it. Okay, it's either make or do. Well, it's make. Make. All right? So he makes the bed.
He makes
Yes.
the bed.
He makes the bed. And here's
He
a picture of
makes
him.
the bed.
He makes the bed in that picture there. Okay. And number 5, last of all. How would you say this sentence? This is the dishes. The dishes. How do you say this? Okay. He washes. Oh yeah, washes the dishes. Let's see if it's correct.
He washes
Yes.
the dishes.
He
He
washes the dishes.
dishes.
Very good. You're forming complete sentences now. This is getting exciting. Let's, in fact, this next series right here, what you do here is you look at the picture, and without seeing these images up here, you try to say the statement about what's happening in that picture. For example, he says hello. He makes the bed. He lives in Detroit. He listens to music. He washes the dishes. Let me see if you can say those now. Try from the first one here. Try from the start. Go ahead. Say this sentence. Describe what he's doing. Go ahead. All right, let's listen.
He says
He says hello. Okay, he says hello to this girl right there. Okay, next one. Describe. Go ahead. You say it. You say this. He makes the bed. Very good.
He
Correct.
makes the bed.
Try describe where he lives. Where does he live? Go ahead. Okay, don't forget in.
He lives in
Okay, so
Detroit.
he lives in Detroit. I live. He lives. He lives in Detroit. What's this? Describe what he's doing here. Describe this picture. Go ahead. Remember two. He listens to music.
He listens
Right, he
to
listens
music.
to music. And last of all, what does he do here? These are dishes. The dishes. The dishes. Go ahead. Say it. He washes the dishes. Let's see if that's correct.
He washes,
He washes the dishes. Okay, next section. Next section is too easy. You already know the pronouns. We don't need to worry about that. Okay, now, here you're going to form complete sentences again, and each time the sentence will be changed just a little. We'll change I to you, to he, to she, okay? So let's see if you can form these complete sentences without my help. Go ahead, say them. Right, he lives in Detroit.
He lives in
Okay,
Detroit.
number 2. Go ahead. Say number 2. I live in Detroit.
I live in
At least
Detroit.
I used to. Number 3. How do you say this? Right. You live in Detroit.
You live in
Good.
Detroit.
Try this one right here about this girl. She. She lives in Detroit.
She lives
Right,
in
last
Detroit.
one. This is the same as you. You like this, you like this. No difference in English. Right. You live in Detroit.
You live
Good
in
job. This
Detroit.
time I'm not even going to use my hands. Let's just quickly go through these sentences here. Number 6. This is the bed. The bed. Say it. Okay, is it he does the bed or he makes the bed? Do you remember? Okay, right. It's he makes the bed. Try number 7. This is you. Go ahead, say it. You make the bed. Number 8. I make the bed. That's not too tough. What's this? Right, it's the same you or you, it's the same thing. You make the bed. And last, this girl right here, she. Don't say she make, it's she makes. She makes the bed. Good job. Last section. Actually, the last section, you see there are more exercises here, but you'll do them independently without my help in just a few moments when the video finishes. In this last section here, we have a test to take. This is actually not the test. This is an exercise which resembles the test. So I'm going to click on Start. I have 1 minute and 5 seconds to take this test or to do this exercise. There are 65 seconds to it. I'm going to click and go. I live in Detroit. He says hello. She lives in Detroit. You make the bed. You say hello. I wash the dishes. He makes the bed. You listen to music. I say hello. I make the bed. He washes the dishes. And I listen to music. Stop. So you see I had 37 seconds left, lots of time. I could have taken a nap. And so no problem. Let's see if you can do that now. Let me, now there are only 50 seconds in the next section. Let me give you all 65 seconds. I'll go back to the beginning. I'll hit reset. And here we have 65 seconds again. Okay. Now this time you say these sentences. And I'm going to move them along at a rate that I think is a reasonable rate. Let's see if you can keep up with me. How many sentences do we have? There are 13 sentences. Okay? And you're going to say them within 65 seconds. That means you've got 5 seconds per sentence. Ready? Now you say you say this sentence. And number 2 and number 3. Okay, here we go. Go. Keep going. Keep going. Say all the sentences. Keep going. Are you keeping up with the pace of this? Keep going. Keep saying them. "19 seconds left. "8 seconds. Here's the last sentence at the bottom. Stop. Okay. Were you successful? Did you finish in 65 seconds? If you didn't, return, go back to the beginning, and try again. Okay? If you succeeded, if it was good, then you move on to the next section. And then you have only 50 seconds. And then the last section, I think, yes, you do. You have one more section. You have only 40 seconds to say all of those. Let's see if I can do it. You know I can do it. I'm not going to waste your time. Okay, last section after these 3 exercises, 3 sections with exercises. Here you have the same activity, but it's a test now. You see with the test, if I click on this button right here, the percentage sign, it will show how a teacher could grade this test. They could evaluate your test, okay? You see, of course, again, we have 60 seconds now. So here you see 60 seconds for the test. The test exists in 4 different forms. And so if I click on number 1, here's test number 1, here's test number 2, and the tests are almost all the same. They just have slight changes in each one, so you can't memorize the answers. You have to keep thinking, in essence. Okay? So let's try to do this last one together. Let's do the fourth form of this test. Okay, it'll show up over here. We have 60. Let's see if it works correctly. No, it's down here. Let me make this a little smaller for you. There we go. It's on the right line now. Okay, I'll reset it. Let me make sure I'm number 4. Okay, so we're going to say these. We have 60 seconds. That means how many sentences do we have? Is it still 12 or 13? It's 12 sentences. We still have 5 seconds per sentence. So ready? You and I together, we're going to take this test. On your mark, get set, go. Okay, that was you live in Detroit. I hope you said that. Hey, the time's not running. I didn't click on the button. There we go. That was cheating. Okay, you live in Detroit. Number 2, say it. Number 2, say it, and then I'll say it. All right, she lives in Detroit. Okay, number 3, say it. Say it. You make the bed. Number 4, say it. Come on. I make the bed. 5, he listens to music. 6, we're halfway done. I listen to music. 7, she listens to music. 8, you wash the dishes. 9, you wash the dishes. That's the same. Oh, it's the same. You wash the dishes. 10, she washes the dishes. 11, you say hello and quick. 12, oh, too late. So we don't get credit for the last one. Unless you said it. I didn't say it. So I failed to some extent. Hopefully you didn't. Now, how can you know if you said what you said correctly? Normally you don't have me here talking to you while you're taking a test. So how would you know if that was correct or not, what you said? Well, at the end of each test, there's a video. And if you click on it, you can hear the correct answers. Number 1, you live in Detroit. Good job. 2, she lives in Detroit. 3, you make the bed. Etc. So that's how you can hear the correct
4.
answers. You can watch the video and listen to the correct answers and watch, compare what I say to the images in the test, etc. Okay. Well, that's all for me, but it's just a start for you. Now, after this video, you're going to return to the second section, not the first, because the first just has the video that we're watching now. But in the second section, right here, you're going to do these exercises. You'll listen, you'll click.
He live Detroit. He
lives
lives in Detroit.
And you'll go through all of the different exercises before you take the test. And I'll see you in lesson 1.5. Goodbye.